businesses. They're very wealthy, some of them. And many of them have had the political power over the years. They've been judges, they've been sheriff, they've been FBI, G.B.R. They've owned farms, they worked our people for minimum wage or no wage. And we know that they know that we're getting close to solving this case. Right. So I just have to do that for Mercedes, but I just have to say to you, don't ever come to the Morris Ford Bridge and consider this some kind of a outing. Yeah. This is holy ground. This is sacred ground. When we go to the King Center, we stand there in front of Dr. King and Miss Coretta now, we say this is holy. This is sacred. So don't take this lightly. This is very, very serious. And we're so happy now to be joined with the Johnsons from Valdosta because this is holy. This is sacred. This is their 17-year-old baby. And now this baby is connected to Martin Luther King Jr.'s movement. Dr. King was 17 when he started it. He was 17 when we lost him on January 11th of 2013. So that's all I want to say. And we can have a minister come.
I want to ask you a question, you and DuBose. This is a very simple question. It should be very short to answer. My question is that across the state of Georgia, we see that the news media will come to the sons and daughters of the Confederacy. They know what time of month, what time of year they be there. So my question to you all, why aren't somebody here to tell this story today? It's like as if though a tree fell in the forest among our news media, and then they tell us the tree never fell. And our children were beneath the limbs that fell from the tree, and we indeed live in the forest, and so we know that there is a forest.
Brother George, you're absolutely correct. I will say to you, there are journalists who are very concerned and very interested in making a contribution to bringing this case to closure. I was called Wednesday night by the chairman of the board of SCLC, Dr. Bernard Lafayette, who knew me when I was a little boy growing up in the movement. He called me at home and he said, I need you to do me a favor. I said, what is it? He said, there's a journalist from Glasgow, Scotland here. And he's at the King Center doing research, and he found your name in the archives, and he just needs to interview you before he goes back to Scotland. He said, can you please see him tomorrow? I met him at SCLC on Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock. He didn't leave me until 7 p.m. And he kept asking me about Morris Ford. He kept asking me about unsolved murders. And I mentioned Kendrick Johnson. And I said, man, you know, I'm surprised that you're so interested coming from Scotland about these cases. He said, these cases are global. And he said, I want to expose them. He said, I'm coming back. When I come back, I want to interview you again. I drove him from SCLC on Auburn down to the Hilton, down to the Sheraton, actually, on Cortlandt Street. And when he got out, he wanted to talk some more. And I said, man, look, I got to go now. I've been with you for over 4 hours. As you call me, I'll email you. But listen, Christian Boone, who was in the Walton County board meeting when Ed showed the video on March 4th, he works for the AJC. He texted me the other day, and he said, look for my story. It's going to be in the AJC on Sunday. It's already out now. You can go buy a copy. It's on the street. It's online, ajc.com, by Christian Boone. There are journalists Walton Tribune was out here today. Called me yesterday while we've been making. He said, I'll meet you at the marker. I'm going to do a story in the paper. It'll run next Wednesday. There are some dedicated journalists. A lot of them, you know, the editors are putting them on other assignment, but some of these journalists are saying, no, I got to work on this. This is important. I want to be a part of breaking this story. Mark Winnie over Channel 2 came to this bridge with me last May. We spent 4 hours right here. He interviewed me. I had all kind of files scattered over there. And then he wanted to go down to Ralph and Myrtle Ivy's house in Social Circle. He followed me over there because he wanted to know where I was on April 4th, 1968. I took him over to Myrtle and Ralph's house in Social Circle. He stood in the yard and interviewed Myrtle and Ralph. And he said, I just had to know where Tyrone was on that day because he was not in Memphis. We knew he was in Walton County. We just want to know where. So there are a lot of serious journalists, George, who really want to be a part of this movement because whenever it breaks and we get a victory, they want to claim some of it. Yes. And now Ed DuBose and I are going to give members of Congress a chance to claim some of it. To claim, we're going to the chairs of the House and Senate Judiciary Committees. We want them to call hearings, call witnesses, call some of these people that Wayne Watkins has mentioned on that video, call Robert Howard, call Ed and myself and any others who want to talk about it. And so, and the law enforcement agencies who, you know, who are involved and who were involved. So we are taking it to another level now. But I just want to let you go now. We've been here a long time. Some of us arrived about 10 o'clock this morning.